are good to go. It is officially week 8, and can't wait. It's you know, it's time. So let's get it going. Let's talk some start sit decisions for fantasy football. Looks like we already got some questions in the chat. Let me just get myself situated, set up properly, and I will get to those in just a second. But yeah, here we go. We'll start with this one. But all right, we got a question from Greg Chavez. Let's go. AJ Dillon, Zach Moss, or Tyjae Spears. I don't think I can trust Spears just yet. I don't think I can. While he's very interesting, very tempting, I still think Henry's the guy you're rolling with in Tennessee. I can't say I love Tyjae's upside just yet, but I think I'm gonna go AJ Dillon. I am worried about the injury to Zach Moss. And at the moment, AJ Dillon is still getting the majority of touches in the Packers backfield. So I have AJ Dillon ranked the highest. I have him at number 27, and I have Zach Moss about 10 spots lower. Yeah, I got Zach Moss pretty low. I'm genuinely concerned about Zach Moss at the moment. So while it is risky, I don't think you're like in love with any of these options. I am going to go with AJ Dillon, my friend. Think I'm going to do that. Hopefully, Aaron Jones doesn't steal too much volume. But I think at least it's like a 50-50 split. And Dillon profiles as the goal line back. I think he might find the end zone. Hopefully, that happens. Give me AJ Dillon in that spot. But Gary Yo, welcome back. Longtime viewer of the channel. Good morning, Adam. Would you trade away Walker, Charbonnet, and Palmer for Gibbs and Downs? Current running backs Henry and Spears, Brian Robinson, wide receivers Chase and IU, full PPR, 14-man league. Okay. I don't think I would, Gary, because Walker straight up, at least like this week, I think is equally as valuable as Gibbs, basically. Like, yeah, you might prefer Gibbs a little bit, but not like by a wide margin. And then just throwing in Charbonnet is kind of irrelevant. It's just like an insurance policy. But I think Palmer is more valuable than Downs, straight up. I think they're not too far apart. But the thing about Gibbs is that he will be losing value when David Montgomery comes back. So long term, I don't think that's a wise acquisition. I think I'd much rather have Walker the rest of season than I would have Jahmyr Gibbs. And, it's kind of a losing situation long term because Montgomery's going to crater the value for Gibbs once he comes back. Gibbs is not going to be the top 10 running back that he is right now. So I'd rather have the Walker side of that trade. I would not like to give them up for Gibbs and Downs. So keep Walker, keep Charbonnet, keep Palmer on your roster. Good luck to you, Gary. But Gerald Alvarado is saying, good morning, Minshew, Love, or Carr, and thank you. I think at the moment I do not trust Jordan Love at all. Jordan Love scares me. Carr is a decent floor play, but not like amazing. I'll pull up my quarterback rankings. I'm pretty sure I have Minshew ranked the highest. I believe I have Minshew at number 14. Yes, I have Minshew at 14, and I have Carr at 17, Love at 22. So I would be going Minshew in this spot in 5 games under Shane Steichen. While 2 of them were with the Eagles, he has thrown for an average of 298 passing yards. Minshew is offering a very safe, very solid floor. So I would go Gardner Minshew, even against a decent Saints secondary. Give me Gardner Minshew in that spot. But Biggest Bird, what's good, Blunt? 2 questions. Waddle or Jacoby, and Damian Pierce or Miles Sanders? I think I got to go Jacoby. He's getting 10-plus targets a game, especially when Jimmy Garoppolo's under center. And while I am kind of interested in Waddle this week, I do worry about Tua's efficiency against New England. He doesn't have great stats against the Patriots. So Waddle has been very inconsistent this season. Meanwhile, Jacoby has been very, very consistent himself. And I think I'm going to go Jacoby. I think there's just more targets, more of a safer floor. And he's honestly been better than Devontae Adams. So I got Jacoby at number 14. And then I have Waddle at 18. I would be going with Jacoby Myers at Detroit on Monday night. I think there's some good garbage time available for him Gonna need to throw it a lot to keep up with the Lions, who should win that game comfortably. So give me Jacoby Myers over Jalen Waddle. But then you're also asking Dameon Pierce or Miles Sanders. I think I'm gonna go with Dameon Pierce. I know Pierce has been a bit brutal this season, but Miles Sanders I have at 31, and I got to be honest with you, I kind of feel not foolish, but a little bit risky for sure, ranking Sanders above Chuba Hubbard. I feel like that touch split could easily favor Hubbard. And while they do pay Sanders the more money, that's kind of the only reason I have him ranked higher. That's kind of the only reason I'm trusting him. Whereas with Pierce, there's likelihood I picked the Panthers to win, but in all likelihood, the Texans will win this game. And the matchup is like top three for Dameon Pierce. So I am worried about him. He hasn't been like great, but neither has Sanders. Sanders hasn't looked like dominant in his own right. And I think given the matchup, I would much rather go with Dameon Pierce in the same game. If I am correct where the Panthers win, then maybe Sanders really provides you that good option. But Sanders is in a clear committee. Hubbard could be above him, and Pierce has the job all to himself. I'm going to go Dameon Pierce in a great matchup. So give me Jacoby Myers and Dameon Pierce for your question. But we have a super chat donation. Lance Knapp, thank you for the donation, my friend. I really appreciate it. You jumped the queue because you donated. But Tank Dell or Kareem Hunt with Ford possibly in. Tank Dell's really interesting, especially with Robert Woods unavailable. But I think I'm still going to go Kareem Hunt. This is a run-first team, and the Kevin Stefanski system knows what they're doing. And there's a lot of goal line targets, even for Kareem Hunt when Jerome Ford is fully healthy. So I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt and hope that Ford doesn't completely vulture him. I really doubt that's going to happen. Ford is like not 100%, and they will be leaning on Kareem Hunt a little bit extra. So I am going to go with Kareem Hunt. I have Kareem Hunt ranked at number 18, and then I have Tank Dell like almost at number 50. I have Tank Dell. Where do I have Tank Dell? He's at like, I want to say 45. 43. Tank Dell's at 43. I'm going to go with the top 20 running back over a receiver I rank outside the top 40. Give me Kareem Hunt in that spot. Good luck to you, Lance. Good luck. But let's get back to the questions. We're at Oaksville's finest. Welcome back to the chat. Happy Sunday morning. Stroud or Burrow, 6-point touchdowns. I'm going to go with Burrow. I think Burrow and the Bengals win this game. And I have CJ Stroud as a solid option. I have it number 15 here, but I have Burrow top 10. I have Burrow at number 8, and coming off the bye, the injury concerns should be gone for Joe Burrow. I think he's going to be perfectly fine, perfectly solid, and given the Niners' defense has had some struggles lately, I have a feeling he's going to look really good. If T. Higgins can contribute at all, then that's going to really put him over the top. But even if he doesn't, like Jamar Chase has been pretty solid and Burrow has looked good, I will go with Joe Burrow, especially in a 6-point passing touchdown. I think there's a way higher chance for Burrow to throw like 3 touchdowns, whereas Stroud is usually just giving you like 1, a maximum of 2. So I'm going to go with Joe Burrow in that spot. So good luck to you, Oaksville's finest. Hope you win. But let's keep it moving. My name, Jim, is asking, good morning. Would you start Waller or Goddard? Have both and have been hitting on the wrong one every single week this season. Yeah, that's the only like troubling thing that happens when you have like 2 really good tight ends. I remember, like, this is kind of just a personal anecdote. The year that both Darren Waller and Mark Andrews had their breakout season. They were both very young in the league, and like I remember drafting them at like the end of the draft. Didn't expect both of them to be like top 5, but I had that problem, and I was picking the wrong one each week. Even though I had 2 top 5 tight ends, I was getting like barely tight end 12 production because I kept picking the wrong one. It's very frustrating. I would try and trade one away. I think if you can, I would try to trade probably Darren Waller. I think there's a little more injury risk with Waller. But in terms of this week, that's what your question is asking. Sorry to take a little time to get there. I think I'd go Waller. I have Waller ranked one spot higher. I have Waller at number 5 and Goddard at number 6. And let me just pull up real quick the matchup stats data that I have. I'm not going to put it on the screen here, but I'm going to tell you my logic behind these decisions. Waller has the number 2 matchup on the season. Okay, the Jets have been very vulnerable to the tight end spot. Number 2 in the NFL on a per game basis, and they've given up 5 tight end touchdowns. So on the year, that's a very solid option, and that's why I trust Waller this week. The questionable designation seems to be gone. So that's why I have Waller ranked one spot higher. But I will mention this, Goddard has the number 5 matchup. So both of these are really good spots. And if you're looking at just the last 3 games for the Commanders, they've actually given up 4 tight end touchdowns in just those 3 games. So I don't think you can go wrong with either. I'd actually like to have both in my lineup if I could. But I think I'm going to go Waller because there's fewer targets above him. I feel like at some point Devontae Smith has to emerge. Like, he's not been getting targeted too much, and Goddard carries a little bit more risk. Waller, I think, has the safer floor and the higher chance to get you like close to 100 yards receiving. Goddard might have like a slightly higher ceiling, but I think a lower floor. I would be going with Darren Waller of the two, but I think both of them are going to have really good games. I think you're going to be happy with either of them. So good luck to you. My name Jim. I'm going to go with Waller over Goddard. But would I trade in a 14-team league? Nick is asking this. Half PPR. Ridley, 2024 last round keeper value for Breece Hall, 2024 first round keeper value. I would rather have Breece Hall. I'd rather have Breece Hall. I think, especially in terms of keeper value, like Ridley may not stay in Jacksonville. I mean, he's very up and down, very inconsistent. He's only on a 1-year contract, whereas Breece Hall is very young. I believe he's only 22 at the moment. If not, he like just turned 23. He's very young, and I think from a long-term standpoint, he has the potential to be a top 5 running back for the next 5 years in that Jets offense. So I would rather have Breece Hall, especially like in a dynasty type of situation, and especially at the moment. I know it's a full PPR league. You usually favor receiver, but Ridley's just so inconsistent. I don't trust Ridley right now. I'd much rather have Breece Hall. If you can make that trade, give me Breece Hall. He's also past his bye, and you're going to lose a week next week in week 9 with Ridley. So give me Breece Hall in that situation over Calvin Ridley. But Sleek is asking, happy Sunday. Welcome, Sleek. Full PPR, Jordan Addison or Devontae Smith, and Michael Mayer or Taysom Hill at tight end. I think at receiver, you are absolutely going to go Jordan Addison. I mean, Addison looked so good last week, and I know that the matchup on Jair Alexander is not the best spot to be in, but I just don't really trust Devontae Smith right now. Like, yes, we drafted Devontae way higher, but he just hasn't been doing it. Where do I have Devontae? I have Devontae at 34. Devontae is not a reliable start right now. He's barely getting you like 6-7 points in half PPR. In full PPR, it's like, what, 8 or 9? Yeah, less than 10 for sure. Whereas Addison looked so good last week. I rank him at number 12. I have Addison way higher. I think from just a respect standpoint, you cannot bench Jordan Addison right now. So give me Jordan Addison with confidence over Devontae Smith, and hopefully Jair Alexander does not shut him down. If anything, Devontae might just be an afterthought in his offense. But then you're asking Michael Mayer or Taysom Hill at tight end, and that's a very good question. Is Taysom Hill active tonight or today? I believe he plays in the morning. Okay. According to the inactives list on ESPN right now, where do I have him? I have him right here. Taysom Hill is currently expected to play. But Juwan Johnson is due back from his calf injury, which could eat into Hill's workload. The Juwan Johnson availability is a little bit risky, but I think from a upside standpoint, if one of these two would score a touchdown, I think Taysom Hill would have that better ceiling, and that's why I still rank Taysom Hill higher. I'm pretty sure I have Taysom Hill at, where do I have him? I have Taysom Hill at number 18, whereas I have Mayer at 19. So it's really close. I think really the only thing I'm chasing here would be the touchdown. I think if you just want the floor, Sleek, Give me Michael Mayer. With Jimmy G under center, there might be a few more targets available for Mayer. Although Taysom has been getting involved in the passing game lately, he does have that chest injury, and it is a little bit risky. I think from a floor safety standpoint, give me Michael Mayer. If you just don't want the bagel, Mayer is the better option. But I think if you want the ceiling and a little bit higher chance to go over 10 points and a touchdown, I think Taysom Hill would offer that. So that's the logic in my ranking here. I think Mayer is the safer option, but Hill has the higher upside. I think if I were you, I'd probably be going Michael Mayer. Even though I do rank Taysom Hill higher, I think I'd rather just bank the floor with Mayer. So good luck to you. I'm definitely going Jordan Addison over Devontae Smith. And then in full PPR, I'm going Michael Mayer over Taysom Hill. So those are my decisions. And let's move on to the next question. Adam Lean is asking Puka or Barkley in the flex. Ooh, good question. Interestingly, Puka has had a higher target share in the last, 3 games? Yeah, with Cooper Kupp back available. Puka has been amazing lately. So I rank him at number 9, and then I rank Saquon obviously inside the top 5, I believe. I think I have Saquon at number 5 exactly. Saquon is my number 5 running back. Yeah, Saquon's very interesting. I think it's going to depend on your scoring format. I think if it's full PPR, I'm going to go Puka Nacua. If it's half PPR, I think I'm going to go Barkley. I think there's higher odds for a touchdown with Barkley. The matchup against the Jets' run defense is not terrible, and Tyrod gets the offense moving. They keep it rolling in New York. So I think in half PPR, I'm going to favor Barkley as a running back 5. I think he's just barely better than my wide receiver 9. I think the floor is a little higher with Saquon Barkley. So that's my decision there. If it's full PPR, though, give me Puka Nacua. Olrac, Olrac. Full PPR needs 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex, and a tight end. Jamar Chase, Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, Calvin Ridley, Laporta, Ingram, Henry, Aaron Jones, K9, Jalen Warren, and Hunt. Okay, so at tight end, you're going Laporta. I definitely prefer Laporta over Ingram. And then your 2 wide receivers are going to be Jamar Chase and Keenan Allen. I have Keenan Allen at 7, and then I have Jamar Chase at number 4. However, your flex is absolutely going to be Adam Thielen, 100% Adam Thielen, who I have just at number 8 at wide receiver, is really, really solid. So you're starting Jamar Chase, Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, and Sam Laporta. You are benching Calvin Ridley and Evan Ingram. And then from a running back standpoint, I am benching Aaron Jones and Jalen Warren. I'm definitely starting Kenneth Walker. However, what is Jerome Ford's game status? When is that game? Is that game in the afternoon? It is in the afternoon. Okay. It looks like Jerome Ford is likely going to play. So as long as that happens, I'm going to be going with Derrick Henry. I believe Derrick Henry is playing in the morning. Pretty sure that that's the case. Let me make sure. I think that's what's happening. Yes. Derrick Henry's playing in the morning. So you don't have the luxury of waiting for Jerome Ford's game status, and you gotta kind of just have to take the shot, take the gamble. I'm going to go with the talent and the player who's been the most consistent in his career. I'm going to go with Derrick Henry, who I rank at 15 over Kareem Hunt at 18. If Ford doesn't play, then I'd put Kareem Hunt over Derrick Henry. But right now, we're expecting Ford to be available. I think Henry is the safer play. I'm going to go K9 and Derrick Henry. At running back, I have Walker at 12, and he's the highest ranked running back of these options. So you're starting Jamar, you're starting Keenan, you're starting Adam Thielen at flex. At tight end, you're starting Laporta, and your 2 running backs, in my opinion, will be K9 and Derrick Henry. Good luck to you, Olrac. But Jay Hopkins, member of the Subscriber League, longtime viewer, welcome to the live stream, my friend. Sunday morning salute. You have a take on weather affecting your lineup decisions. I mean, I haven't really looked at the weather. If there's a game that you're like specifically asking about, then I'll look it up. But I got to be honest with you, I have not really checked the weather. In all honesty, I don't think it's a big deal. Usually the places that it's kind of matters would be Cleveland, but they're playing in Seattle this week, so I don't think it matters. I'll be honest with you. I have not looked at the weather status. I mean, and maybe I should have, but not really. Like, I don't think it really matters that much. It's still October, and unless there's like 40-mile-per-hour winds or something, then I'm not gonna sweat it. I don't think it matters. If there's a specific game you're talking about, I'll be happy to look it up and make a decision. But right now, no, I can't say weather is affecting my decisions. Still in October. I haven't put much thought into it, so sorry. Haven't thought about it too much. But Kenny P is asking Ridley or Tank. Ooh, I imagine you mean Tank Dell. There's no way you mean Tank Bigsby. It's got to be Tank Dell. I still prefer Ridley. The matchup against the Steelers is actually really good. The Steelers have a bad secondary. Ridley still has that upside, but I understand he's been so brutal. Some really rough games for Ridley. I have him at number 32, but I have Tank Dell at 43. So I still worry about Tank Dell. The touchdowns seem to be going to Dalton Schultz right now, and Nico Collins usually gets more targets than Tank. So I still don't fully trust Tank Dell, and I know it's hard to trust Ridley right now, but Ridley still has that 100-yard upside. I think I'm going to go Ridley in a great matchup. The Steelers' secondary isn't really stopping anyone, and I prefer Ridley, although I don't feel great about it. I understand the question, absolutely legit. I think I'd go Ridley, though. The matchup is just so good. Against the Steelers, they're like top 3, at worst top 5 in terms of matchup. This week, the Steelers are allowing. Let me pull it up real quick, and I'll get on to the next question. Steelers have allowed. Sorry. We got an hour till kickoff, so I'm still taking my time a little bit. But Pittsburgh is the third best matchup, and they give up over 212 yards passing to wide receivers in the last 5 weeks. So really good odds for Ridley, and then an addition of 5 receiving touchdowns in the last 5 games as well. So I think Ridley has the better matchup. Give me Calvin Ridley over Tank Dell. But my name Jim. Another question from you. Making early roster moves for next week, would you pick up New Orleans against Chicago or Pittsburgh against Tennessee Thursday night matchup without Tannehill? I'm 100% going the Steelers over Tennessee. I think it's possible that Fields gets back on the field. I know Justin Fields has missed some time lately, but the Steelers defense is really good, and the Tennessee Titans don't scare you at all with no Tannehill. I mean, even with Tannehill, I think that's a good spot for them as well. But I have no confidence in the rookie Will Levis, and it's possible that Malik Willis maintains the job, but I doubt it. Even if he's the starter, I love that spot. I really do. So give me the Steelers against Tennessee 100% over the Saints against Chicago. But Philip Colton, good morning. Happy Sunday. Need to fill a flex spot. Half PPR. My options are D-Hop, Rashee Rice, Kendrick Bourne, or Darrell Henderson, or Deontay Foreman. If you only have one, I'm going to go with Rashee Rice, my friend. I have Rashee Rice ranked at number 35, and I really don't worry about the matchup against Denver at all, really. He had a good game against them a couple weeks ago, like 4 for 75, something like that. And he's the clear number 1 receiver for Mahomes at the moment. So I trust Rashee. I think his upside is very high. He's getting some touchdowns, and I think that's what you're chasing. I do not want to lean on DeAndre Hopkins with the rookie quarterback situation. That quarterback situation really scares me with Hopkins. And then Bourne has only really had good games last 2 weeks with Juju Smith-Schuster out. So I still don't trust Kendrick Bourne, and Jalen Ramsey is planning to play. I think that's likely going to be the case. So I'd rather pass on Bourne. Henderson is somewhat interesting, but I don't love the matchup against Dallas. I worry about that. And even though Deontay Foreman has looked really good, I've been a little bit low on Deontay Foreman. So keep that in mind. I might be a little bit biased. I only rank him at number 24, and I'd much rather go with Rashee Rice. I think it's much safer. You're going to get a lot more targets as well, so those half PPR points going to play a factor. And I just think there's more upside with Rasheed. I don't love the Sunday night matchup against the Chargers. The fact that Roshan is playing makes me really have a hard time trusting Deontay Foreman with confidence. So I'm going to go Rasheed Rice, Phillip, and I think that's the safest bet. He's been pretty solid lately. I'm going to go Rasheed Rice in that spot. But Cody Tyler is asking, thinking about starting Downs over Sutton and Pickens. Seems to have a high ceiling. Well, yes, he has a high ceiling. I think Pickens has the higher ceiling. George Pickens has 2 straight games with 100 plus yards, and the Jags receiving core is better at catching interceptions than they are at stopping the pass. I think Pickens is the way to go. I have Pickens ranked, I believe, top 20. I'm very high on George Pickens this week. I have Downs at 36, and I do think he's a great flex play, but I have Pickens literally at number 17. Yeah, I would be going Pickens. It's a good matchup against the Jaguars. They're a top 8 matchup this season against the receiver position, and they've given up at least a touchdown to receivers in every single game this season, 8 on the year. I think Pickens has a good shot to find the end zone. I would be going George Pickens, but I understand the Downs logic. I don't hate it. I'd definitely be going Downs over Sutton, but I'd be going Pickens over Downs if it was my lineup. So that's what I would do. But, it's your team. You get to make the final decision. Dub Nation, Ridley or Rasheed Rice, PPR. I have Calvin Ridley at 32, and then I have Rasheed Rice at 35. I believe I also asked that question in a poll. I remember I had multiple polls going today. So I believe I had that specific question, though. So if that's the case, yes, I do have that. That is currently a question on my community tab. I have 4 options here, and the crowd is favoring Devontae Smith over Calvin Ridley, Rasheed Rice, and Josh Downs. But from almost a 2-1 margin, people have voted for Rasheed Rice 24% of the time over Calvin Ridley. I do rank Ridley about 3 spots higher, so I think Ridley has some interesting upside. I think there could be more targets for him. The matchup is good, but I think from a safety standpoint, the floor is definitely higher with Rasheed Rice. So I think I'd be going with Rasheed Rice if I were you. While I do rank him a little bit lower, I think I'm going to kind of side with the consensus a little bit and lean on the floor with Rasheed Rice. Ridley is just so unreliable. While he does have the higher ceiling, could go over like 20 points, it's unlikely to bet on. Christian Kirk is way more reliable in that offense. So I'm going to go Rasheed Rice over Calvin Ridley. I don't feel great about it, but I just feel so risky endorsing Calvin Ridley. I think there's a safer floor and equally high upside with Rasheed Rice. In full PPR, it's tempting to go with Ridley, but I think I'd rather go with Rasheed Rice, as most of the channel audience would agree with that statement. Good luck to you. But Trev Gasworth, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Tua or Stroud? Tua has been bad against New England, and Stroud has something to prove today. I agree with you. Tua has been very brutal against New England. Really low stats. I have the 2 of them ranked within 3 spots of each other. I have Tua at 13. Excuse me. And then I have Stroud at 15. So it's really close. And I'll be honest with you, if I had picked the Texans to beat the Panthers, I probably would have ranked Stroud higher. So I think you have a very good point. I think if you want to go Stroud, I wouldn't look at you at all. I wouldn't question you. But I think I'd still go Tua. I think I would still trust him a little bit more. And I think, his track record is more solid. He has better weapons. That's the main reason I would do it. But I do worry about the New England matchup. The fact that it's at home, though, the Miami Dolphins usually play very well at home. That heat advantage is a factor. And then the Patriots always play really weird in Miami as well. So just the fact that it's at home, I think, is the kicker. Stroud on the road is the only reason I would be going Tua. Give me Tua, but just barely over Stroud. If you disagree with me, if you want to just trust your gut and lean Stroud, then I understand it. Wouldn't question you too much. I think it's a very close final point total, so there might be a little more upside for Stroud, but Tua should have a good game, should be okay. I hope that's the case, but I'd go Tua. I don't feel great about it, though. In Gerald Alvarado is asking Mixon, Flowers, Kirk, or Michael Thomas. Pick 2 half PPR. Okay. I am 100% going with Christian Kirk. I have Christian Kirk as a top 15 receiver this week, and I think that's kind of what you're going to get week in, week out with him at this point. He's really, really solid, really consistent. Maybe there's a random game where Ridley is better, but I don't think that's this week. I think Kirk is the way to go. I think if you just want to have a very safe 10-point floor, Zay Flowers would be my next option. I'm not going with Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, even with a touchdown last week, didn't get over 10 points, so no Michael Thomas. It's between Flowers and Mixon for that second one, and I think I'm going to go Flowers. I think Flowers is way safer. The matchup is great against the Arizona Cardinals. They have given up the most fantasy points against the receiver position in the last 5 weeks, 35 plus to the position, as well as 6 passing touchdowns in just the last 3 games. I'm going to go Zay Flowers and Christian Kirk over Joe Mixon. Mixon kind of scares me a little bit, and he's very touchdown dependent. I think without it, you're going to kind of barely get like 6-7 points, and Flowers is going to get you 8 or 9 without the touchdown. If he does get the touchdown, he will have a much, much better game. I think Flowers is the way to go. Give me Christian Kirk and Zay Flowers in that spot, Gerald. Good luck to you. But Gary has another question. Thank you, Adam. Should I start Palmer or Brian Robinson? I can wait for Palmer and place him on IR spot if he doesn't play, and maybe pick up Roshan Johnson or Quentin Johnston. I think Palmer's going to suit up. It looks likely that Palmer will play. They're sounding optimistic about it, and I think I'd rather go Palmer. I hate the matchup this week for Brian Robinson. I really want to bench B-Rob. I have no confidence in him against the Eagles. The Eagles are the worst matchup you could ask for, and he needs a touchdown to pay off. Even if he gets it, I don't think Brian Robinson goes over 10 points. And I think kind of like that Bears game a few weeks ago on Thursday night, there's a high chance that the game script completely moves away from Brian Robinson and that they're trailing heavily and keep him off the field because they need Antonio Gibson for the passing game usage. So I'm benching Brian Robinson. And then the fact that you can maybe pivot to Roshan or Quentin, I think would be not a terrible option. I have Roshan ranked just a couple spots below Brian Robinson. So I would be going Josh Palmer, and I might pivot to Quentin Johnston if somehow he's unavailable and ruled out in time. So I have Palmer at number 30. I'm going to go Josh Palmer. I have Brian Robinson at like 36 at running back. Don't trust him this week at all against the Eagles. Terrible, terrible matchup. Give me Josh Palmer this week over Brian Robinson. But just a quick reminder, looks like we have 25 viewers at the moment, only 12 likes. Do me a favor, hit that like button for me. And if I've answered your question, if you appreciate this content, then please hit that subscribe button as well. I really appreciate it. Let's get that number up in the like column and help boost this video in the algorithm, help grow the channel. It's the least you could do. It's free, and I really appreciate just hitting that like button for me real quick. But let's keep it moving in terms of questions. We have Eric Fortis asking, all right, here we go, Adam. Full PPR, 8 team, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex, 1 tight end. We got Goff or Tua, so I guess you also need a quarterback. I'm going to go Goff. I don't trust Tua this week as much as Goff. Coming off the loss, Goff is going to play way, way better. The Lions are going to look really good. So give me Jared Goff over Tua for sure. But then you need 2 wide receivers, and you have Thielen, Devontae Smith, Myers, Olave, and Ridley. I am benching Devontae Smith and Ridley. I am absolutely starting Adam Thielen and Jacoby Myers. It's very close between Jacoby and Olave. I might have them like back to back. I have Olave at 16, Jacoby at 14. I have Thielen at number 8. Thielen has been amazing. I want Adam Thielen for sure in the lineup. And then I prefer Jacoby Myers. With Jimmy G under center, he's getting 10-plus targets a game. Those are the 2 I'm starting at wide receiver. But you also need 2 running backs. You have Pollard, Barkley, and JT. I'm going to be going with JT and Barkley. I have the 2 of them ranked higher. I've been a little bit worried about Pollard lately. Pollard has been a little bit disappointing. I have him ranked the lowest at number 11. I have Barkley at number 5, and I have Jonathan Taylor at number 7. But at your tight end, you have Schultz and Ferguson. I'm going to go Dalton Schultz. Way higher chance to score a touchdown. Ferguson has been a little rough lately. So your quarterback is Jared Goff. Your two wide receivers would be Adam Thielen and Jacoby Myers. Your two running backs are JT and Barkley. Your tight end would be Schultz. And then your flex is between Olave and Pollard. It's full PPR. I'm going to go Olave. I don't feel great about it. Olave has been a little bit risky. However, the beauty of him is that he's getting 10 plus targets in like the majority of games. Olave has 10 plus targets in like 5 out of 7, I believe. And if it's full PPR, I do favor him a little bit. I am worried about the touchdown upside, but Pollard has been a little bit rough as well. Pollard has been a little bit dicey. It feels weird to say, but I think I'm going to bench Pollard in this spot. The Colts are a decent matchup. Are they? Wait a minute. Actually, the Colts are a bad matchup. Colts are actually a brutal matchup. They've been really good against the receivers lately. Only 20 points per game to the position. So, actually, that one's a good toss-up. Olave versus Pollard. I'm gonna ask a poll in the chat as well. I think this is a very legit question. Who to start at flex? Chris Olave or Tony Pollard? Okay, so I'm going to give you my decision, but I'm also asking this poll for you, and we will see as the stream goes on who favors who. But I think I'm actually going to go Pollard. I think I'm actually going to go Pollard. The matchup that I've looked into for Olave doesn't feel great, and Pollard should have a solid floor. Has been getting some targets in the passing game as well. So even though it's close, I think I'm going to go Olave. I think there's a safer floor there. Although in full PPR, I'm very tempted to go with Olave. So yeah, those are the starts. Thielen, Myers, all three running backs, Barkley, JT, and Pollard, and then Schultz at tight end, Goff at quarterback. Good luck to you, Eric Fortis. But Kyrus is asking PPR, Amari Cooper, or Kareem Hunt. The like-to-watch ratio is sus, but I believe it's getting higher. I'm pretty sure it's going up. Yeah, we got 19 likes now, 28 viewers. I appreciate it. If you can still hit that button if you haven't already, do me a favor. But I'm going to try and speed through the rest of these questions. We only got 40 minutes left, and I am behind on the questions. So I think I'm going to go Amari Cooper. In full PPR, he should get some more targets. Kareem Hunt might get the touchdown. That's kind of the only give or take spot there. I could be wrong, but the Jerome Ford availability makes me a little bit worried. I think I'd rather trust the PPR volume and go with Amari Cooper in that spot, even though PJ Walker isn't great. I'm going to go Amari Cooper in full PPR. That's the only difference. If it was half PPR, I'd go Kareem Hunt, but it's not. Give me Amari Cooper. Great Went is asking one from Robinson Jr., Jalen Warren, or Henderson for running back 2 full PPR. I assume it's Brian Robinson Jr., not Bijan Robinson. Yeah, he's not a junior. So Brian Robinson, Jalen Warren, or Henderson. I am going to go Darrell Henderson. I have him ranked the highest. I believe Henderson is the better play. Henderson is a bit safer for the more volume because I really hate the matchup for Brian Robinson. Against the Eagles, I want to avoid it completely. So I have Henderson at number 26. I have Warren at number 33. And I have Brian Robinson at 36. I'm going Darrell Henderson, even against Dallas. Don't love the matchup. I'm going to go with Darrell Henderson in that spot. But Josmar Flores, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Mostert or JT this week? Ooh, good question. Very, very legit question. I think I have Mostert higher. It's back-to-back, though. I have Mostert at 6, Taylor at 7. Whew. I don't think you can really go wrong. I think Mostert has that ceiling, but Taylor has a slightly higher floor. I think I'm going to go Mostert. Mostert has just been so good this year. Elite production. The Zach Moss usage scares me a little bit, whereas the Jeff Wilson usage doesn't scare me at all. That's the only reason why Taylor is in a slightly bigger committee than Mostert, but very tempting to go Taylor. I'm going to go Mostert, though. Give me Raheem Mostert over Jonathan Taylor. But Benjamin Hawken is asking full PPR, Nico, Hollywood Brown, or OBJ. I'm going to go Nico Collins. I trust Nico a decent amount. I have him top 25 this week. And until we see Kyler Murray, I think I've kind of lost some faith in Hollywood Brown. Brown has been very touchdown dependent, and I have him at 29, whereas I have Nico Collins at 24. I have OBJ outside the top 50. I'm not starting OBJ at all. Give me Nico Collins over Hollywood Brown in that spot. So that's what I'm doing. Give me Nico Collins. Benjamin Hawken. But Kenny P, yes, Tank Dell, thank you. You're welcome. I'm going to roll through these questions. Got to move a little faster. But London is asking Christian Kirk or Josh Jacobs at flex full PPR. I trust Christian Kirk with some confidence. I really, especially in full PPR, I have no belief in Jacobs this week. It's a terrible matchup against Detroit. The Lions are a really, really elite run defense. They're one of the best in the leagues right now. So I'm going to go Christian Kirk, especially in full PPR. Way more volume for Kirk. Give me Christian Kirk, 100%. But biggest bird, Jimmy G or Dak? I'm going to go Dak Prescott for sure. I think the Lions defense really step up, whereas the Rams defense doesn't have a secondary that scares you. Dak plays really well at home. I have Dak ranked top 10. I do not have Jimmy G ranked top 20. Give me Dak Prescott, 100% biggest bird. But Olrak is asking, I'm planning ahead for week 9. I need a quarterback, and among leftovers, which one should I pick up? Baker, Love, Dobbs, Ritter, Carr, Geno, or Garoppolo? I'm going to go Geno Smith. I think Geno's floor is the safest there. I think he has the most weapons that you trust. Baker's very interesting, but I think Baker's getting a little more exposed lately. And I think Geno's going to consistently rank top 15, whereas Baker is going to rank a little bit closer to number 20. Dobbs is going to lose his job in the next couple weeks when Kyler gets back, so no way you're going Dobbs. Carr has a safe floor, but very low ceiling. I don't trust Carr. Ritter's a little bit interesting, but he turns it over a lot. And then Garoppolo, probably going to get hurt at some point. Also turns it over a lot. So I'm going to go Geno over Baker. I don't trust Love at all, really. And Geno would be the guy that I want in that spot. I trust him the most. And he's also past the bye week. You're not going to have to worry about streaming another option with Geno, who won't be missing any more time. Hopefully, as long as he doesn't get injured, Geno would be my pick. But Jay Hopkins is saying snow and freezing temps in Denver today. Have Cortland Sutton in my flex, half PPR, but should I consider Brian Robinson? Yeah, the Denver weather. Let me look at it. 24 degrees. Yeah, that doesn't look too good. How much snow is it? It's not really snowing. Um it's cold, but I'm mainly just worried about the Chiefs defense. I think if you just want the safer floor, I might go Brian Robinson, but Sutton has been scoring touchdowns. Sutton is kind of interesting for that reason. Um I think I'd rather go Sutton. I'm very low on Brian Robinson this week, but the matchup is scary as F. The weather's great in Washington, D.C., 70 degrees. So, yeah, if you're really going to care about the weather, then go Brian Robinson. But I don't worry about it too much. I think I'd still go Sutton. Although, yeah, it scares me for sure. The snow is not a problem. The temperature is really the only thing, and that's probably not going to be a big factor. No, I think I'm going to go Cortland Sutton. I just have such low confidence in Brian Robinson this week. He's so touchdown dependent. I don't think it happens. The matchup is so bad against the Eagles, and the game script is going to move away from him very quickly. So I'm still going to go Cortland Sutton. I feel terrible about both of them, but good luck. Going to need it, Jason Hopkins. But Prajesh Patel is asking Puka or Lamb. I'm going to go Puka Nakua. Prajesh. I have Nakua at number 9. I have CeeDee Lamb at number 11. Lamb has been way more inconsistent this season. Puka is looking so good, so reliable, so much volume headed his way. And maybe he doesn't find the end zone, but I think Lamb is a little bit risky as well. Maybe they get him heavily involved, but in the same game, I think you're going to see more garbage time and more passing volume in the Rams offense. And I think Puka's going to see more targets, more likely to go over 10 in this matchup. Give me Puka Nakua over CeeDee Lamb. But Luis Ornelas is asking Downs, McLaurin, or Higgins. I'm going to be going Terry McLaurin. I have Terry McLaurin pretty much guaranteed. The matchup against the Eagles is solid. However, Downs may have higher upside. I do rank him lower. I think Downs is a little bit riskier. He's still behind Pittman in that target share, and I think I trust McLaurin a little bit more. I would be going Terry in what is likely going to be a very good game script for him. The Commanders are definitely going to trail and have to throw it a ton. So I don't trust T. Higgins at all right now. Maybe if he can do something, I might start to trust him later on, but he has most of the games this year with like less than 20 yards receiving. Only one good game back in week 2. I don't trust T. Higgins at all. So I'm benching T. Higgins, and I'm tempted to go with Downs, but I think Terry is the much safer option. I think if you just want 10 points guaranteed, give me Terry McLaurin. If you're hoping for a touchdown, maybe Downs gets it, but without it, I think McLaurin will be the better play. Give me Terry McLaurin over Josh Downs. But D, just the letter D, is asking standard, assuming Ford plays, Hunt or Ford or pull Singletary from the waivers. You are not pulling Singletary from the waivers. That's not what I'm going to do in any way, shape, or form. I do not trust Singletary at all. I'm going to go Kareem Hunt. I think Ford, even if he does play, is legitimately banged up, and I think they will be leaning on Kareem Hunt a little bit more, especially in the red zone. Kareem Hunt has been getting his goal line touches, and I think Kareem Hunt finds the end zone, finds a score. I think Kareem Hunt is who I'm going to go with in this spot. It does feel a little risky, but in standard, the touchdown is so important. I'm going to go Kareem Hunt in this spot. There's no way I'm switching to Devin Singletary off of the waiver wire. So good luck to you, the letter D, this week. But Abraham Pena says, what up? What up with you, man? I'm doing good, but got to get through these questions. Tariq Taylor, Amari Cooper, or Sam Laporta, full PPR, please. Damn. The matchup against Seattle is really, really good. The Seahawks are a great matchup, one of the best this season. They rank number 5 in terms of wide receiver fantasy points allowed this year. So I'm going to go Amari Cooper. Laporta is very tempting, but I think if one of them scores a touchdown, it would be Amari Cooper. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Laporta has a safer floor, but I think the higher ceiling is with Amari Cooper. I'm going to go Amari Cooper. I don't feel great about it, though. I think if you just want the safer play, go Sam Laporta. But Cooper is riskier, but I think the ceiling is higher. I'd probably go Amari Cooper. But if you just want the safety net, then go Sam Laporta. That's how I see it. The safe play is Laporta. The higher upside would be Cooper. But Abraham Pena is saying, need one running back, one wide receiver, and one flex. Henry, Gibbs, Pierce, Waddle, D. Smith, and Hollywood. I have Kupp and Pollard at my other positions. Thoughts on Henry? Okay. One running back, one wide receiver, and one flex. You need 3 of these. I'm 100% going Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Gibbs is very safe with no David Montgomery this week. I 100% trust Jahmyr Gibbs. So he's your running back. And then wide receiver, I would be going Jalen Waddle. The Patriots know how to shut down Tyreek Hill a decent amount. And I think Waddle will have a solid game, get closer to 100 yards receiving. Maybe not score a touchdown, but I think Waddle has a good floor this week. I'm going to go Waddle. I rank him top 20, well above Devontae Smith and Hollywood. But your flex, I will be going Derrick Henry. I don't feel amazing about it, but I think you're going to trust the talent. He can always pop off like a 60-yard rush. And I think Henry, at least for the moment, even with the weird quarterback situation, is the main cog, is very, very good. I will be going with Derrick Henry at the flex. So give me Jahmyr Gibbs 100% at running back, give me Waddle at receiver, and give me Derrick Henry at flex. I don't really trust the other options too much. But Goat Mode is asking half PPR, would you go Sanders, McLaurin, or Sutton? And would you go Dak or Stroud? At quarterback, I'm 100% going Dak. Dak is very reliable at home. I have Dak top 10. Stroud, I don't think has as much upside as Dak Prescott in this matchup. So give me Dak Prescott at quarterback. But then Sanders, McLaurin, or Sutton, I'm going to go Terry McLaurin. I think that's way, way safer floor with Terry. Should be good for 10 points. Sanders worries me in that time split with Hubbard. I feel like Hubbard could easily be better than him. However, Sutton scares the shit out of me. Very touchdown dependent, and without it, can't do much. He has been scoring touchdowns, but at some point that's going to dry up. I'm going to go Terry McLaurin with confidence against the Eagles. But good luck to you, Goat Mode. Good luck indeed. But Shades 721, standard scoring flex, Christian Watson or Javante. I'm going to go Javante Williams. I worry about Christian Watson. Jordan Love doesn't look good at all, and he was a little bit banged up this week. It's a very hit or miss spot with Christian Watson. I think in standard, you trust the floor with Javante a little bit more. The receptions are irrelevant, and I think Javante has a higher odd to score a touchdown. Give me Javante Williams in that spot. But Prajesh is spamming the chat, just asking consistently, Puka or Lamb, Puka or Lamb, Puka or Lamb. I'm going to go Puka Nakua. I believe this was your question earlier as well, and I did answer it. Yes, that was your question earlier. Give me Puka Nakua over CeeDee Lamb. But Joe Kingsley is asking Ramondre or Drake London half PPR. I believe I'm going to go Drake London. I have Drake London top 30. I have him at number 27. The matchup is good against the Titans, and it should be a good spot for him. I think he gets close to 100 yards. The usage has been way more reliable. He's good for about 10 points every week, whereas that's kind of what you're getting with Ramondre as well. Very touchdown dependent with Ramondre, and I don't really I still don't really trust him. He's been better lately, but he's still a bit brutal. I would go Drake London. I think there's a little bit higher upside with Drake London, and the floor is comparable between the two. I think it's equally safe to go with London over Ramondre. I think the ceiling is why I'm more interested. But Great Went, you're welcome. He says thank you. And all right, let's. Where are we? Drake Jordan is asking full PPR. Need 2 DK Flowers or Pickens. I'm 100% starting Flowers. I have him top 20, and then I'm going George Pickens over DK. It's a great matchup against the Jags. They've given up a lot of touchdowns this season, and I rank both Pickens and Flowers top 20. I have DK at 22. It's very tempting, but coming off that hip injury, I'm a little bit worried about it. Especially the Denzel Ward coverage could be a little rough for DK Metcalf. So I'm benching DK Metcalf. I got Flowers higher this week. It's a great matchup against Arizona. And then Pickens has 2 straight games with 100 yards receiving. I like the matchup as well. Give me George Pickens and Zay Flowers over DK Metcalf this week. But Impossible is asking half PPR, 1 flex, Higgins, Henderson, Brian Robinson, Tank Dell, Daubs, Lockett. Okay, you only need 1 flex out of these. I am 100% benching T. Higgins. I'm benching Brian Robinson. I am benching Daubs and Lockett. I think it's between Tank Dell and Darrell Henderson for me. I think I'm going to go with Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson had like almost 19 touches last week. And I think the volume is safe for him. I'm going to go Darrell Henderson. I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to go Darrell Henderson. But Tariq Taylor is asking Amari or Calvin Ridley, and I do have Amari Cooper at number 25. I have Ridley at 32. I'm going to be going Amari Cooper. The matchup is really good. It's top 5 against Seattle, and there are some good odds for him to score a touchdown. I'm going to go Amari Cooper. Ridley scares the shit out of me at the moment. So good luck to you, Tariq, with Amari. But Prajesh says, thank you. You're welcome. Ron Morris, Denver is used to that weather. They are. It's not like it's actually snowing. The precipitation is very low. While it might snow a little bit, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd mainly just be worried about Russell Wilson getting shut down by the Chiefs defense. But Jason is asking Jahmyr Gibbs or Demario Douglas on the flex. Come on, bro. Is this a real question? Give me Jahmyr Gibbs 100%. I got him ranked top 10 at running back. Demario, not a player you trust. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs with confidence. But Marquise is asking Christian Watson or Tank Dell. Thank you. I think I actually rank Christian Watson like a couple spots higher. Yeah, I have Watson at 39 and Tank Dell at 43. I'm feeling a little bit higher on Tank Dell, actually, and it's kind of really hard to trust the Jordan Love situation. But I think I would go Christian Watson, just barely. I feel like that's a really risky spot. I think the floor is safer with Tank Dell, but the upside is higher with Christian Watson. I would go Christian Watson for that reason, but I don't feel good about it. I think if you just wanted the safety net, then go Tank Dell. But if you're just shooting for upside, then go Christian Watson. Very close call. I have them within 4 spots of each other. I don't think you can go wrong with either. I think it'll be a pretty similar spot. Trust your gut, but I would go Christian Watson. You're welcome, Marquise. But B, growing stuff. I wonder what you're growing over there. Wink, wink. Weed. Weed would be what I'm assuming. Zay Flowers or Nico Collins. Also Goddard or Laporta. Thank you. I'm going to trust Laporta. The matchup is really good for Goddard, but Laporta has been great this season, and I think the floor is a little bit safer. Goddard has been a little bit more up and down on the season, and while he has been good lately, I think Laporta has a safer floor, should get a good game against the Lions. So I'm going to go Laporta. I have him ranked a little bit higher. I have him ranked at, what would it be? Laporta at 4, Goddard at 6. So yeah, I'm going Laporta. I think a little bit more volume is headed his way. But then you're asking Zay Flowers or Nico Collins. I think I'm going to go Zay Flowers. I 100% love the matchup for Flowers. He has a very safe 10-point floor every week. 9 points minimum is what he's getting you. And the matchup is the best in the NFL against Arizona. They give up a ton of touchdowns. I would go Zay Flowers over Nico Collins, although I understand people might question me. People are higher on Nico than I am, so maybe I'm too low, but I have Flowers as a very, very safe option. Nico is a little bit more boom-bust this season, and while he could go over 20, he could also give you 5 points, and I wouldn't be shocked. Flowers is at worst going to give you like 9 or 10 points, and I think this is the week where he goes in the end zone and gets you over 15. I'm going to go Zay Flowers over Nico Collins, Laporta over Goddard. But Ulrich says thank you and good luck to everyone. You are welcome and good luck to everyone as well. But we got to speed through these comments. I'm a little bit behind, and we do have a super chat from Greg Chavez that does jump the queue. Apologies if you're next, but thank you. 100% going with Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua. Those are my picks, and I think if you want the 20-point upside, I would be going Nico, but I think if you want the floor, give me Waddle. So the one that you're benching, in my opinion, would be Nico Collins, but I understand it if you think that that's the wrong call. I think Waddle gets more involved because Tyreek is usually limited by the Patriots. I have Waddle at 18. I have Nico at 24. The other 3 I have top 10. So the 4 that I'm going would be Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Jamar Chase, and Jalen Waddle in that spot. Thank you very much for the donation. Greg Chavez, got to get back to the questions. We only have 20 minutes, so going to go real rapid fire at this point. I'm not going to give you a ton of explanation, but we will answer every question, I promise. Akshay Shah is saying, pick 2 of 3. Devontae Smith, I fully believe he will go off. Olave, Flowers, Downs, Christian Watson. I'm going to still go with Olave and Flowers. I have the 2 of them ranked top 20, and Devontae Smith, while you may believe in him, I do not. I can't say with confidence he does. If you really want to trust your gut, then bench Olave. I think the safest one here would be Flowers, and I would want to avoid a bust, and I would 100% start Flowers, even though I rank him a little bit lower. I think the floor is safer with Flowers, but the volume is safest with Olave. Give me Olave and Flowers over the rest of them. But all game stream here, spamming the chat with some emojis. Thank you, my friend. V, let's go. But Akshay, another question. Start 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Bijan, Gibbs, DJ Moore, Pittman, Thielen, Garrett Wilson, Hunt, and Laporta. So 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. I am going with Jahmyr Gibbs at running back. At wide receiver, I am going with Adam Thielen. He's been amazing this season. And then at flex, I am going to go with Bijan Robinson. I know last week was brutal, but I think he bounces back. I don't think that usage is going to continue. The headaches should be gone. I'm going to be going Jahmyr Gibbs, Adam Thielen, and Bijan Robinson as your 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Those are the 3 that I want. Bijan, Gibbs, and Thielen. But Akshay Shah is saying I'm starting Cousins over Goff. Is that fine? Yeah, it's fine. I have them ranked really close together. I do have Goff over Cousins, but it's 1 spot. So it's not a big deal. It's kind of just who you prefer. And while I do prefer Goff, I think Cousins has a good spot here. I wouldn't be worried about it. In division, it's a little bit of a downgrade, but I think you should trust your gut. It's your team. If you want to go with Cousins, go for it. He has had a higher ceiling this season, but I personally would be going with Goff. Back to back, though, it doesn't matter. It's your call at the end of the day. But Humanity Unbound is asking, what's up, man? Thoughts on Taysom Hill, Cole Kmet, or Higbee? I don't want any of them. Honestly, I really hate this spot. Komet got a bagel last week. Don't trust the volume. Higbee hasn't gotten much volume since Cup has been the offense. And Taysom has been a little injured, but does have Juwan Johnson back in the fold to kind of limit his volume in the passing game. But I still think Taysom has the highest odds to score a touchdown. I think he has the highest ceiling. Give me Taysom Hill in this spot. The other two really scare me like crazy. I would go Taysom Hill in this spot. But Frenzy MS is asking, need one running back and one flex: Javonte Williams, Deontay Foreman, Darrell Henderson, Kendrick Bourne. At running back, I have Javonte ranked the highest. I think he's the safest play, and he's running for like 5+ yards per carry lately. I have him ranked the highest, but it's very close. I have Javonte one spot above Darrell Henderson, and then Deontay Foreman I actually have at number 24. I have Foreman ranked the highest. So I would be going Deontay Foreman and Javonte Williams. I have them all back to back to back. I don't trust Kendrick Bourne this week, and it's kind of a bad matchup for Henderson. So I have Deontay Foreman and Javonte Williams ranked the highest. I'm going Javonte and Darrell Henderson. And Deontay Foreman, excuse me. Foreman and Javonte for you, Frenzy. But Dave Fish is asking, what up, boss? What you think? Full PPR league, Tank Dell versus the Panthers or Sutton versus the Chiefs? They're tough. I think I'm going to go Tank Dell. There is some weather concerns, as pointed out to me, in Denver. And while Sutton it has been scoring touchdowns, he's extremely touchdown dependent with no Robert Woods. I think there's a safer floor with Tank Dell. I'm going to go Tank Dell. In full PPR, I think there's more volume for Tank Dell. Give me Tank Dell for sure in full PPR. Even though I rank Sutton a little bit higher. In half PPR, give me Tank Dell in that spot. But a few more emojis from All Game Streaming here. Thanks, bro. But my name Jim, following up on the Goddard-Waller decision from earlier. I'm going with Waller, but would you rather flex Goddard over Jacoby, Darrell Henderson, or Aaron Jones? I'm still going to flex Jacoby Myers. Jacoby has just been so consistent, 10+ targets for him on a weekly basis. Don't think you can bench Jacoby Myers. I have him top 15 at wide receiver. I'm going Jacoby over Goddard and definitely over the other two. I don't trust Aaron Jones right now, and Henderson is in a committee. No thanks against the Cowboys. Give me Jacoby Myers over Dallas Goedert. But Adil El Latifi is asking, should I worry about Taysom Hill and the weather and Cup against Dallas? I have Keenan Allen, Amon-Ra. Which three would you pick? Thank you. Definitely starting Keenan Allen and Amon-Ra. But I assume it's Tyreek Hill. It's got to be Tyreek Hill if it's versus Cup. Is there bad weather in Miami? It's 81 degrees in Miami. No, I'm not worried about Tyreek Hill and the weather. I'm more worried about the matchup. In Dallas, it's in a dome. It's under a ceiling. So I'm still going to start Tyreek Hill. As long as that's not Taysom Hill, then 100% Tyreek Hill. I do have Cup over the other two, though. The top three I have ranked would be Tyreek Hill at number 2, followed by Cooper Kupp at number 5. Where are we? Yeah, I have Kupp at 5, Tyreek Hill at 2, Keenan at 7, Amon-Ra at 6. So the lowest I have ranked here would be Keenan Allen, actually. I would be benching Keenan Allen in that spot. But I will say this. I rank Tyreek Hill at number 2 on respect, but against Bill Belichick, he's actually had some diminished stats. There is a possibility that he's the worst of the 4, but I don't think you can bench Tyreek Hill in any way, shape, or form. So give me Tyreek, Kupp, and Amon-Ra in that spot. But Nicholas Alvarez is asking Pickens or Joe Mixon at flex. I will be going George Pickens. I'm going to go George Pickens. I think the upside is good. The matchup is really good against the Jags, and he's gone over 100 yards to the back-to-back games. Mixon is very touchdown dependent, and I think Pickens finds the end zone in his own right. So I'm going to go George Pickens. I think the ceiling is higher with George Pickens. So good luck, Nicholas Alvarez. Give me George Pickens over Joe Mixon. But TK is asking Najee Harris in rain or Joe Mixon versus tough San Francisco defense. I'm gonna go Joe Mixon. I don't trust Najee. That committee scares me, and the Jags defense has been pretty good. I will be going Joe Mixon. I don't trust Najee at all right now. That touchdown last week was the only saving grace for him all year long. Jalen Warren is probably gonna have a better game script for catching passes, but give me Joe Mixon over Najee Harris. But Khalil Morning Bro pick 2 for running back Derrick Henry, Bijan, uh, or Deontay Foreman, and pick 2 wide receivers. Okay, so at running back, I'm going Derrick Henry and Bijan. I worry about Foreman now that Roshan Johnson is in the mix. I'm definitely going Bijan Robinson and Derrick Henry. But pick 2 wide receivers, Jacoby Myers, Adam Thielen, Brandon Ayuk, or DJ Moore. I'm 100% going Adam Thielen, and he's been amazing this season, almost 20 points per game. This year, I have him ranked number 8, top 10 at receiver. I 100% want Thielen. And then Jacoby Myers, I have ranked higher as well. I have Jacoby at number 14, whereas I have Brandon Ayuk at number 19. I will be going Jacoby Myers. He's getting so much volume, 10 plus targets with Jimmy G under center. I 100% want Jacoby Myers. DJ Moore is just a floor play with Bajent under center. So at running back, you're going Bijan and Henry, and at receiver, I'm going Thielen and Myers. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up button. And just a reminder, everyone, let's see, we have 25 likes, 15 viewers. So if you haven't hit the like button already, it looks like we have more than the viewers would suggest. Please hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and I really appreciate it. But we only have 15 minutes left. I got to go rapid fire the rest of the way. We are close to catching up, but not quite there. GM, good morning. Would you start T-Law or Cousins? I'd be going Kirk Cousins. I think Cousins has the higher floor and ceiling over Trevor Lawrence and that banged up knee against the Steelers defense. Give me Kirk Cousins. But Apes is asking, pick one, Joe Mixon, Darrell Henderson, Royce Freeman, Roshan Johnson, Zeke, or Jalen Warren. If you can only pick one, give me Joe Minion. I'm pretty sure you mean Mixon. Give me Joe Mixon over the other ones. My next preference would be Darrell Henderson, but definitely Joe Mixon over the others. But Dave Fish asking also Pitts or Jake Ferguson. Haha, if you get to this, I would appreciate it. I'm going to go Kyle Pitts. I have Kyle Pitts ranked higher than I do Ferguson. He's been way safer, about 30 targets in the last 4 games. Kyle Pitts has been very reliable, very good floor. Ferguson might score a touchdown, but I have him one spot below. I have Pitts just above him. I'm going to go Kyle Pitts over Jake Ferguson. The matchup is the only reason to feel a little bit confident in Ferguson. I prefer Pitts way more. I guess not way more, just one spot more. But Frenzy MS says, thank you. You're welcome. Dave Fish also says, I appreciate the advice, my brother. You're the man. Appreciate you, pal. Thank you very much for watching. But Ronnie Daniel says, need 2 full PPR, Saquon, Mixon, Henderson, Edwards, or Pierce, T-Law, or Purdy. Thank you, man. Okay. At QB, I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence over Brock Purdy. Purdy, with not that much practice time this week, scares me a little bit. He has been throwing some interceptions, and the Bengals secondary has been stepping up a little bit in recent history. So I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence over Brock Purdy. I have T-Law 2 spots higher. I have Lawrence at number 10. I have Purdy at number 12. And Lawrence and his mobility is the main reason why I prefer T-Law. But give me Trevor Lawrence over Brock Purdy. But need 2 running backs. You have Saquon 100% in your lineup. I have Saquon top 5 this week. So give me Saquon. And then at running back, your second one, I'm going to go Mixon. I have Mixon ranked top 20. I have Mixon at number 16. And while I do worry a little bit about it, I think Mixon's pretty reliable, pretty safe. Give me Joe Mixon and Saquon Barkley over the others. None of them crack my top 20. Dameon Pierce has a good matchup, but very hard to trust. Give me Mixon and Saquon over the other 3. But Ice Cold Jones is asking Mostert or Henry. 100% Raheem Mostert. Mostert has been elite this season, really high ceiling. And with the quarterback situation in Tennessee, I'm a little bit worried about Derrick Henry. Give me Raheem Mostert at number 6. Henry I have closer to 15. But Apes is Minion and Michael Thomas. You gotta mean Mixon. Yeah. Yeah, you corrected it with Mixon. Mixon and Michael Thomas for Stevenson and Deontay Johnson, a good deal. It's fine. It's fine. You get an upgrade with DJ, but not like a massive upgrade. It's decent. And then Stevenson for Mixon, I don't think is a good deal. I think I'd rather have the Mixon side of that trade. I think Mixon has higher upside rest of season for sure. I'd rather stick with Mixon and Michael Thomas for Stevenson and Deontay. Deontay doesn't encourage me that much. Deontay's just a floor play and rarely scores touchdowns. Give me the Mixon side of that trade. But Adil El Latifi says, yes, it is. I guess maybe if that's in regards to that question, maybe we disagree. But he also says, thank you, boss. You are welcome. Very welcome. But what's up, my guy? Hope all is well. Thank you, 3.4. All is doing well. But Craig Wayne is asking Flex Laporta or Rashee Rice in a standard league. I think you might get more yards with Rashee, but I think you have a better shot at a touchdown with Laporta. I think I'm going to go Laporta. Don't feel great about it, but the weather scares me a little bit. Pretty cold in Denver. It's just a very minute downgrade. I have Laporta top 5. Laporta is just so consistent, so safe. I think I'm going to stick with the safety net of Laporta. I don't feel amazing about it, but I will be going Laporta over Rashee Rice in a standard league. I think that's the kicker. The touchdown's so important, and I have a feeling neither of them get it. But if one would, I think it'd probably be Laporta. A little more likely. But TK is asking last question. Deontay Johnson or Nico Collins? Nico Collins, for sure. Definitely prefer Nico Collins. I have Nico at 24. Yeah, 24. And then I have Deontay at 31. I prefer Nico Collins for sure. But Dave Fish is asking, we'll skip the ads real quick. I'll keep y'all in the video. We'll skip the ads. Dave Fish says, have a great Sunday, brother. Thanks again. Time to clock in. Haha. Yes, definitely. With 10 minutes left till kickoff, we are good to go. But Hayden Rittenhouse is asking, Williams or Rice? PPR. Williams. Which Williams? Javonte Williams? That's the only Williams I can think of. It can't be Jamal Williams, could it? It's definitely not Jamal Williams. I'm going to go Rashee Rice. In full PPR, I favor the receiver. And Javonte isn't ranked like super, super high for me. I'm going to go Rashee Rice. I prefer Rashee Rice in this spot. But TK says it's not cold in Denver. It's a blizzard, LOL. I live there. I mean, I'll trust you if you're literally on the ground. I'm going off of Google weather at the moment. It doesn't say it's like crazy snowing. At least at the moment, there's a 24% chance of snow according to Google. But you live there. I'm gonna believe you. So I don't know what it's like there. You have more firsthand experience. But Ape says thank you. You're welcome, bro. Mark Benitez, Sanders or Sutton in standard. I think I'm gonna go Cortland Sutton. I don't. No. I think I'm gonna go Miles Sanders. It feels weird, but I picked the Panthers to win. I think Sanders has a decent option, decent volume. I'm gonna go Miles Sanders, but don't love it. Sutton could score the touchdown. Sutton has scored more touchdowns this year, but at some point that's gonna dry up. I feel like they stop him this week. He scored a couple weeks ago on them, so I'm gonna go Sanders. I don't feel good about it, however. In standard, though, I usually favor the running back for sure. But Craig Wayne says Foreman or Rice. PPR, give me Rashee Rice over Deontay Foreman. In full PPR, I favor the wide receiver for sure. But we're going to check my lineup, make sure I don't need to make any changes. This is my lineup in the subscriber league. I have Kirk Cousins at QB and Breece Hall, Derrick Henry at running back. Cooper Kupp, Jordan Addison are my receivers. Dallas Goedert, my tight end. Drake London. None of them are injured, and I won't be having to pivot. I got the Jags defense over the Steelers defense. A little bit worried about it, but I think the floor is safer with the Jags. I think they win, and the Steelers give up a few more points. But I could be wrong about that one. That one could be the kicker. But Craig Wayne with a thumbs up. Thumbs up to you, bro. And then Jake Elliott's my kicker. I feel good about that. But I'm not plugging in anyone on my bench. That's for sure. As long as my guys are healthy, this is my starting lineup, 100%. But I do have another team. Just want to make sure that one's good to go as well. And it looks like everyone is active for this one. I got Herbert at QB, Etienne Mostert definitely in my lineup, Amon-Ra and Marquise Brown. I don't love the Marquise Brown spot, but it is what it is. I would rather go Josh Palmer, but his injury designation has me a little concerned, and that's why I'm not going with him. But then I got Bijan and Devontae Smith, and I'm a little bit hesitant to do that, but it's full PPR. It's a good matchup for Devontae. Gonna roll the dice, but grind don't stop is saying start 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, and a flex. Bijan, Gibbs, Walker, Rice, Dell. Okay, your running backs, you're 100% going with Gibbs. Gibbs I have ranked really high, and then Bijan I do have over Walker this week. I know last week he was not used at all, but I think Bijan is a safe play. I'm gonna go with Bijan over Walker, and then you need 1 wide receiver. I'm gonna go Rashee Rice over Tank Dell. Rashee Rice is a little bit more interesting. I think the ceiling is higher with Rashee Rice. Tank Dell has had that one blow up game, but otherwise hasn't really done much. Rashee has been a bit more consistent, really good rapport lately with Patrick Mahomes. But then your flex, I'm going Kenneth Walker over Tank Dell. So start all 3 of the running backs and start Rashee Rice over Tank Dell at wide receiver. Those are my picks for you. Grind, don't stop. Good luck to you. But damn, I'm really tempted to go Ridley over Devontae Smith. I am scared. Last week, Devontae had 5 targets, but in the poll question, Devontae had way more overwhelming votes for him in the poll question. So I think I'm going to go Devontae over Ridley. Don't feel great about it, but it is what it is. Hunt or Foreman or Roshan. Because Roshan's available, I do not trust Deontay Foreman right now. So I'm going to go Kareem Hunt. I know that it's a little risky with Ford likely active, but I think with Ford banged up, they're going to lean on Hunt in the red zone a little bit, and I'm going to go Kareem Hunt over Foreman and Roshan. So give me Kareem Hunt in that spot, Rob. You're also saying that Ridley does better against zone. I know the matchup is good against the Steelers, but the matchup is also good against Washington, and Devontae had a decent game against them back in week 4, I believe. 7 for 78 on 9 targets. I think there's more targets for Devontae Smith. Ice Cold Jones had a comment, but it was retracted, so I cannot pull it up here. If you want to comment again, we can definitely answer it. But Joe Phelan says non-PPR pick 1 running back, 1 flex, Hunt, Foreman, Olave. I'm going to go with Olave. The volume should carry him. He's seen 10-plus targets in the majority of games this season. So I'm going to go with Olave. And then at running back, I'm going to go Kareem Hunt over Foreman. Like I mentioned with Rob's question, I just don't trust Foreman right now with Roshan under center. But Smith has to be due for a big game. It's a coin flip. Yeah, I agree. At some point, it's gonna hit, but I do worry about it. I'm not super confident. But the battery just died, so gotta switch this. Give me 1 second here, fellas. 1 moment. We're back, but looks like we have 2 minutes before kickoff. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it if you'll subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button for me. Please do me a favor. And more importantly, subscribe. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. I think we're coming up on 2050. But grind don't stop. Sorry, I forgot to mention Olave in the mix for wide receivers. Played Diggs on Thursday. Your previous question, what were the other options? Yeah, I'd go Olave over Rice. I would go Olave over Rashee Rice. 100%. Yeah, I'd bench Rashee Rice for Chris Olave, in my opinion. But I think I also had some comments. Gotta check it. Are there any questions here? Doesn't look like it. No, it looks like we're okay. Looks like we're good, but Oh, we're one subscriber away from 2050. If you haven't hit the button, please give me that one more boost. Give me that one last subscriber. But it's okay. If you have already, I appreciate y'all. But looks like kickoff is in 1 minute, and we are gonna end the stream in just a little bit. So thank you for watching. Thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Wish you all luck this week. I hope we all win. That's not always possible, but sending you all some good luck. And it is 12 o'clock officially, so time for me to get going. Time for me to watch some games, and I will maybe do a live stream later on tonight, but most likely I'll see you tomorrow for all the videos. But Rice over Dell and Walker, right? No, I'm going Kenneth Walker over the receivers. Give me Kenneth Walker over Rice and Dell. Yeah. But that's it for me. Have a good one, everyone. Later. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye.